Welcome everyone back to the Spearhead cast with me, Matt. We have an interesting one here on a 1v1 on Outskirts of the Spearhead. So here we have someone I believe who's new to the mod, but I'm pretty sure this is gonna be interesting. I was told this player did pretty well for it being their first time. Anyway, let's go through them. We have Sun One Praxis as rifle company for the US of A. It's going for a lot of blue and gray straight at the gates. Meanwhile, we have Michael Rodent as the Waffen SS, without having picked a commander yet. Oh, now he actually has. He's gone for Panzer. He's going for Hitler Youth. Okay. This should be interesting. Anyway, so Outskirts with victory points though less. Not something we see very often. Let me just check if I am recording. I seem to be. Good. So, let's see how this is. 1v1 on a 2v2 map. That's an interesting approach. And US Rifle versus SS Panzer. That's also an interesting one. We need to see how Michael Rodent does against the US here. We'll need to remember to keep at range. Which is already going behind cover, that's good to see. We also have Hitler Youth coming out. A unique cheaper infantry you get access to if you're playing as SS Panzer. Only costs 240 instead of 300. Still pretty competent, but they are easier to hit. They get this thing called Hitler Jugend. But they actually have increased accuracy, but they are also 5% easier to hit. So, they do die faster, technically. Especially out of cover, because they're a little bit too fanatical, and they take too big risks, generally, I think is the idea. Well, we have the Storm Grenadiers moving up here, but there will arrive inside the building here. But he moved quickly. He realized he was under fire. We might move to overrun this building now. Well, now with the Kugelwagen as well. That's a lot of firepower. No grenades are available yet. But the Kugelwagen will provide a lot of firepower here. Except the gunners down. Meanwhile, this is happening. The Sturm Pioneers are moving around to capture more territory. But Hitler Youth are holding up this line. Americans pulling back.
Heavy machine gun team ready for order.
Vertical arriving for the US of A. Looks like it's an air-cooled version. And also the MT-34 arriving for the Waffen SS. Shit. Kugelwagen down, that's bad. So they're just gonna try and destroy it. There we go. Denied for the Germans to reclaim it. House goes down. That does deny them to the Americans. Hitler Youth pushing back. Sturm Pioneers might be in trouble. There's a lot of firepower coming their way with all those rifles. The Germans are coming out now with the MG-34. Hopefully this will turn out interesting. Germans are also going for their tech up, so that's a thing. MG-34 sitting up here on the flank. Actually already being ordered to ambush and hold fire. This player seems to know what they're doing. That's good to see. Hitler Youth healing up. Actually, the Kugelwagen actually dropped in some supplies as well. Okay. Looks like this player really does notice their abilities and uses them straight out the gate. Always good to see. And MG has set up. Nice. Here comes the tech up truck for the SS. They need to take up via using trucks, essentially. MD-34 still waiting.
Taking effective fire.
Spinning a neck going in. MG34 opening fire.
To arms!
American Jeep coming onto the field here. Looks like it's just a 30 cal.
We're taking fire! Field promotion!
Hitler Youth threatening this flank though.
Riflemen are now equipped with observation.
And BS1 goes down.
Lost a unit.
That Jeep is going to be a little bit more of a harder one for the Hitler Youth to deal with, I think. They might use the building though. Oh, going into their own grenade? Yeah, that was probably a bad move. But he did destroy the building, denying it for the Americans. And Hitler Youth are pulling back.
Pioneers reporting for duty.
More Storm Pioneers coming onto the field to replace the lost ones. They're being equipped with the MP40i. And a command half-track as well. Okay. We're seeing all the SS stuff coming onto the field now. Perhaps it might be a good idea to invest in some Panzer Grenadiers as well, if you can afford it. Tank hunters coming out for the US of A. He's anticipating a light vehicle, I imagine. Now, the MP40i has the unique ability of actually being able to suppress, because it has double the ammunition of the normal MP40. That's an interesting little upgrade. As I believe the idea is it's essentially dual magazine. Yeah, it's a dual magazine fed MP40, which is a very interesting concept in honesty. You stick 2 magazines into it and it'll be able to keep firing until both magazines are exhausted. That's a lot of extra bullets. Hitler Youth are moving out again with some first SS. Half-track remaining as well to support. Now this range, I think the Storm Grenadiers will win that engagement. Keep moving up, but they don't have the means to stop a half-track, I think. There's tank hunters somewhere though. No, he actually cancelled the tank hunters. There's actually very little to stop the half-track, and we are indeed seeing Panzer Grenadiers. The first SS Panzer Grenadiers coming out. Calling artillery from the half-track. So far so good. Americans are starting to get armed with 30 cals on their riflemen. Can increase their stationary firepower a lot. Hitler Youth moving up to secure the point. Germans are slowly turning this around.
The capture point is under attack.
Even laying some mines up there, good to see. But the Americans are lacking to deal with this after. They do have a flamethrower here actually. The M2. Armor piercing incendiary on the half-track, forcing it to pull back briefly. Yeah, there's too much firepower coming in these SS troops. First SS Panzer Grenadiers are on the field though. And Storm Grenadiers are behind them to provide even more firepower. Half-track coming up. Not half-track, anti-tank gun I mean. Artillery being called in by the US lieutenant. Looks like it's just an 81mm bore auto barrage. And those two Grenadiers are winning out still, and out, but there's a flamethrower coming. They don't want to engage that. Yeah, flamethrowers can be nasty. This half-track might be in trouble. But I think it might get out of there. Well, now it's only up to the Hitler Youth and the Panzer Grenadiers. And of course, this is what he's going to arm these guys with, if anything. MG covering the southern flank.
Task complete.
Americans are securing this part of the map now.
Ready for action. Supply half-track is ready for
Germans are trying to take up behind us. Not an easy thing to do when you've lost this much. More blue and grey down here. This is the advantage the Americans have currently of having a lot of cheap infantry. They can cover a lot more of the flank. Hitler Youth moving up to secure this point. American 30 cal is still present.
crew. Stand ready.
MG-34 moving up as well.
Pioneer Cooper is ready for action.
SS moving up along with the Hitler Youth. American machine gun is running back. It's a very good use of your abilities there to try and force it to run. America's gonna flank in soon though, I think. Now the blue and grey have no AT weapons apart from a sticky bomb. Oh, flame grenade on the lieutenant, killing him! Very good job there from the Hitler Youth. They after all have incendiary grenades, which can really destroy squads pretty quickly, as you can see. Now the Storm Pioneer to replace the losses.
Troops on spot, ready.
We definitely have a little bit of back and forth going on some of the places.
Ready, the M.
And it's good to see the half-track commander being very mobile, because it is an MG-42 that's just driving around, which is handy. And don't underestimate an MG-42 that's mobile, especially because that's an MG-42 on both angles, actually. So you can't even get behind this with infantry.
Task complete. Ready.
Command Panzer F1 as well, so we're seeing a lot of the SS commanders arriving in their vehicles. MG-34 cutting down the blue and grey here with the flamethrower.
We just lost a unit.
Now the MG-34 is quite out in the open, but it's still being called in by the half-track.
Standing by.
Good to see, good to see.
Boy. Rifle squad ready for action. Combat unit ready for action.
There we go, tank hunters finally arriving for the US. And the half-track is down, and he took a shot from the AT gun, but the officer squad is still alive, so they can still be utilized.
Return fire! Return fire!
American Jeep down, A2 Shivan being called in behind us. Officer cut down.
We've lost a squad of infantry.
First assistants, they had a good angle here. Grenade coming in on them. But the F1 will provide a little bit more of a challenge, I think. Not against the A2. I think the A2 can beat the F1 pretty handily. And those Hitler Youth don't have a weight in there, but he's throwing an incendiary grenade, actually. Oh, very nice! That destroyed another American squad. Good utilization of your abilities. American riflemen come into the field. The Americans are starting to lose their infantry advantage. Yes, this is somehow making a comeback. The F1 is being very mobile. Overall, the SS is being very mobile overall, and they also grabbed the vertical. These Hitler Youth have an American weapon. But here's the A2. Now, can the Germans stop the A2 is the question. That's going to be a very hard sell.
Taking fire!
Pack 40 is being called in after this. Oh, not a Pack 40, a Pack 38. It's a smaller but cheaper AT gun, basically. That still suffice, I think. It's not a bad AT gun, but it's not a Pack 40. But Germans are winning in victory points at the moment. So it has turned around. A2 pushing. Sturmgrenadiers is still fighting down here. Oh, well, none of the weapons upgrade on the German units, but I suppose they are somewhat lacking in munitions, but actually not that much when I'm thinking about it. They could start equipping their troops, but I guess he just wants to keep it stored up for emergency usage. Mostly from officer abilities, I imagine. Here's the Pack 38. It's the same model as the Pack 40, simply because there's no way to add models into Company of Heroes 2 modding. Hopefully Company of Heroes 3 will allow that. Artillery call in by the F1.
Prepare yourselves.
Ooh, that's landing everywhere. Now the A2 might spring into action, potentially. We also have the first special service teams coming in. Okay. Unique battle group available to US Rifle. They're essentially the precursors to the US Green Berets. Interesting little units you can get with them. Very elite units. Very small number though. Actually fully represented in Company of Heroes 3. With unique unit looks and everything. So that'll be interesting. Panzerfaust didn't come off. Yeah, they're being cut down out in the open. Very good shot there from the F1 though. Panzer just needs to get out of that. He destroyed the AT gun, very smart. And now the special service open fire on the Storm Pioneers. Oh, good shot there from the side from the A2. That's I think that might have saved the Storm Pioneers though with the F-Blink presence. Hit the youth being healed up still. And we're actually seeing full tech up from the Waffen-SS. That's very hard to do in a 1v1. Especially if you take this as launches, I think. It's a huge investment, but I think it's working out for him, so very good. Ooh, American motorized squad coming in here. Just doing a drive-by on the MG34, killing it. But the mines are killing most of the riflemen. Or at least suppressing them. There we go. Full SS base being set up here. And 30 cal is covering the southern flank. It's nice seeing a little bit of a small scale battle like this on actually a 2v2 map, so units have to be spread out a little bit more. Vertical armed Hitler Youth against vertical armed riflemen. Indian riflemen might have that simply because of the heavy cover. It allows them to not be suppressed. Because the Americans might be going for the central victory point here shortly. And what are the Panzer Grenadiers going to do? They've been ordered to go in ambush stance, so or to hold their fire. So I wonder what the plan is there. Yeah, they are ambushing. Okay.
Suppressive fire! Suppressive fire!
Yeah, F1 keep an eye on the central victory point. Tank hunters are present though. SS is getting an Aufklar behind this, so a scout unit. Stealth unit can actually spot stealth stuff, so very good for countering like commandos and for special service, stuff like that. Kind of what they intended for, I think. And also just keep an eye on the enemy. Okay, Storm Grenadiers have been armed with an MG42. Need to be careful from those special service. They can mow down those troops very rapidly. They've been spotted. He's opening fire. As you can see, the Thompsons are mowing down the Storm Grenadiers there. But he just got suppressed by the F1. I think I might have saved them. Here come the Shermans. Springing in for the kill. Doing a heat shell. Got a critical on one of the Shermans, but it still might not last for too long. It looks like the Shermans are pulling back. We just need to get this thing repaired. But those Shermans are dangerous. Pack 38 has come up though. Doesn't have a line of sight though. Americans are securing the other side here. Alpha getting shots on the Blue and Grado. Slowly getting some kills that way. Versus has Panzergrenadiers on the northern flank here. 75mm pack also coming off the Americans. A pretty good little artillery piece available to US rifle and US airborne, I believe. First special service on a drive-by. That's dangerous. That's actually exceptionally dangerous. Holy shit. Didn't expect the first special service drive-by. Ostwind being prepared. Probably to help deal with all the American infantry. They are going out. Man, those drive-bys in the trucks. That's such an interesting way of doing it, but I'm surprised that the AP mines don't do anything to trucks.
Standing by. Send orders. Grenadiers operational.
That's looking good here for the Waffen-SS. And the Americans are just building up more and more weapons. Once the 75mm start opening fire, I think the Germans might have a little bit of a harder time. But here's the Ostwind. And another Pack 38 coming up behind it.
Get ready. Ready for further orders. Ready.
Artillery called in here from the F1.
Ready. Send orders.
Looks like it's some pretty big mortar shells. Yeah, 12cm, that's pretty big. Now the Ostwind reveals itself. And there's just Americans all along the front. Which you would kind of expect when you're fighting US rifle. They can get a lot of riflemen out. The Americans definitely have the frontline advantage, I think. But the Germans still hold 2 victory points. The Americans do have to push at some point. And I think that's what the 75mm howitzers are going to be for. They're going to bombard the German positions and force them into submission. With some good old shock and awe. And all the Shermans are moving up here. The Ostwind's not going to be able to deal with any of that. Those Pack 38 needs to set up in good positions.
Armor here. All done over here.
Yeah, they come. The bulldozer one leading the way. No, he's not moving in yet. Afklar also being present. The first SS is definitely going to be very cautious wherever they move. 35mm packs are firing. Oh, a good shot. Almost killed the entire Hitler Youth squad. It's a pretty good little artillery piece. Just landing everywhere.
Return fire! Return fire!
Mthis has to be very cautious in its movements. Pack 40 coming up behind this as well. He's preparing to deal with all these tanks that are coming. Here they come.
Forward elements report an infantry unit lost.
Good shot from the Pack 38s. First special service almost got cut down there. There's a bazooka team there.
You're ready. Send orders.
Taking fire!
Americans preparing to move through the center as well. Pack 38 is in a bad position there. Actually, good over penetration.
Fire!
It's still being shut up. Ooh, heat shell going in.
A gun crew has been lost.
There we go, one Sherman down.
Come on, German tank knocked out.
Enemy fire! Enemy fire!
And the first SS Panzer, Storm Pioneers, I mean, are trying to hold there. But now the Sherman's going to push in from the other flank again. No penetration.
Under attack!
Mthis under fire.
Relay orders. Enemy infantry.
I don't think the packs have the penetration at the moment.
Dismount!
Mthis down.
A medium tank was destroyed.
Keep your heads down! Received! Hostile!
American reactions are being cut to pieces.
Assault gun ready for action.
Took G onto the field.
Send orders. Contact! Enemy gunner hit! Assist! We lost a
But the
gun.
Shermans are just, and the 75mm pack howitzers are just all running the German positions, I think. And the Shermans are just getting way too many good shots here. Pack 40 on the flank. Stuck G as well.
Get ready.
Good shot there.
Flanking us! Combat on sea gate! Go with orders!
Germans are still trying.
Ready. Set. Contact! Infantry! Armor ready. Anti-tank gun! Power train damage!
There's just too many American infantry, I think. Yeah, the SS is just getting cut to pieces.
Take it out!
Over!
All those 30 cals are just being very devastating.
Small arms fire! Ready!
And the 30 cals is just too much.
We've lost a squad of infantry. Incoming!
Stuck took a penetration.
Section pinned down!
Receiving effective fire! A gun crew has been lost.
Yeah, I don't think the Germans can make a comeback now. They've lost practically everything. Just too much firepower coming in his way. But he fought bravely. I can definitely say that. He actually did a lot.
Receiving effective fire! MG-42!
But there's nothing the Germans can do with this.
Infantry group are lost!
You should really just throw in the towel at this point, in all honesty. And there we go. It's over. I hope you all enjoyed. This was an interesting one. I'll see you all next time, everyone. Bye-bye.